sun is about to rise where I'm at. It's 5:34 a.m. and I'm going to go back into holographic field meditation is what I call it now. Right now I just called it that, but you know, when the sun is just about on the horizon, well, first of all, a lot of people are waking up, you know, and getting their day going, and that's when the holographic field is taken over by the false field of information, which is meta, which meta is actually originally the mind. Yes, if you really want to know, the word meta is actually the word mental. It's there, MENTAL, meta. But and you know, narcissists are the fully encapsulated mind, is the term that I heard. But you know, that gaslighting and everything, they create, they're in a bubble, right? And it's not awareness, it's a mind. It's a mind tripper. It's a mind trip. Um, so so what happens is, well, 80% are this. They are cerebral narcissists. They're running for something, right? It's what's happening out there. You have it across the globe. It's a plague, by the way. You can see it from outer space. You can see it. It looks like a cancer upon the earth. So then, see, what I'm describing is that the plasmatic airwaves, the field of, say, like if there was such a thing as telepathy and or a common sense, let's just say that, like if there was such a thing as reality, if there was a sun in the sky that gave us life, that by the time, see, most of the organism, human, is getting up in the morning, right? They're rising and they're getting up. They're going to chug away. You know, what I'm saying is, like, when that sun rises, it kind of waves, right? You have people awakening, and they're going to do what they got to do because everything's open, right? I mean, it's not so, you know. But otherwise, yes, there is a midnight, overnight, like look at Las Vegas. It never sleeps. You more and more you can just see it's kind of something. But what I'm trying to just stay on the track of is just that, as good as Gwen Towers people are, the one eye radiation, as far as that, well, say false field of information, what we mean is like the mind, the meta, the one that the believer, the belief system there, and so then that is now doing a behavior. But if you notice, there's a maze conducting behaviors. I guess you could say is kind of channels and chutes and ladders, right? And then thanks for hanging on to this conversation with me. Are you enjoying it? Hit like and subscribe, babe. I don't know when I'm going to stop saying babes either. Terrible, because that's what narcissists call each other. Married and all, right in front of their children. I'm fine, baby. I could be judgmental. Things are becoming the norm, and things are becoming spammed out. It's an interesting time. No, there's also the world of working with your hands and really getting fulfilled and continuing to be an artist. Really, it's really hard for us artists. We just got on. We just got on YouTube and started talking and thought, well, that's what we'll do. You know, maybe Heartists. Heartist. It's the place of your education. the heart, you know, the ear. The ear is there. And so, yes, I wish for you tranquility and serenity and peace during your holidays. That's what exactly that, see, it rained. It might be snowing now, but it rained not all night last night, but it rained periodically, and I really love it. You know, I love the wintertime because of the introspection time. It is so important for everybody to um, take a nap. You see, with the Neptune now, it just dawned on me, and I'm going to talk about this for a while now, I guess, that we have a lot of Neptune in the air. Talk about that. And there's auspicious things happening with sextiles and trines with Saturn and Jupiter that keeps going for 3 months. That tells me that higher minded and learning with the tools are going to emerge more, and people just through communication really, and it's happening too with this Mercury retrograde trining Jupiter, that the communicators and therapists and stuff like this, they're going to their communication is going to be effective, and people will be able to benefit, you know, and because it's a trine to Jupiter, I mean, Jupiter has to do with our money and stuff, and so hopefully we'll be able to give to our healers more, the ones that really do help us in our life, that do not pose as being healers, that their life is actually not really looking like that they can heal in that area. You know, there isn't any proof that, say, like the narcissist and or psychologist over there that has an office, whose life is probably not a good example of having straightened out the problem of the mind and relationships. A lot of people are having trouble with their relationships, and they go, unfortunately, when it's going to a therapist, the therapist will say that like 80 or 95% of the people claim that all they want is just a friend to talk to, and they have to pay the therapist to be that, you know. And so it's relationships that are concerned. And anyway, thanks for listening to this. I just about lost, but hey, I was trying to talk about when people get up in the morning and they're radiating the metta, and they're just hallucinating a life, and especially who they are based in the past, and phew, it's a fucking mess. They have taken over even the sun's plasmatic field. That if it had anything, if we can sit in it and get a download, it's hard to even know that that's happening. But in other words, it's turned day into night, and the night, just as I've been up now for 3 hours since about 2:30, and it's 5:30 now. The night turns to day. The day, what we mean is that you have as a human antenna, you have access to a plasmatic field, and you're radiating, and you as a shaman, which everybody is, can radiate your prayer. Word prayer comes into mind, which that's important. The true state of prayer is joy and gratitude and gratefulness. But there's also listening to the field. You know, this is where sleep is important. I was trying to tell you about Neptune to wrap this up. Um, you might feel listless, like you really need to sleep, and you shouldn't judge yourself about that and think it's bad. You should let yourself sleep, because that's where, if you're not a meditator, you don't meditate, and you don't do something to like completely space out, like an art, like playing music or even crocheting or some kind of painting, or just take a walk out in Mother Nature for a long time, then well, really your sleep is also a form of beneficial transmuting and transferring and all this trans, you know. It's an astro travel too, and to get your take a rest from this god-forsaken ever deteriorating dimension. Why is it deteriorating, Shauna? Well, we have a meta-driven I was going to say exhaust and also intake of how the human organism is operating, and that's what I was trying to tell you about, the daytime activity that overrides, perhaps, like, say, if we were to conduct something sane here, what if we did last a lot longer than just 100 years, but the stress is, like I said, is deteriorating, and the way that we do things too. Oh my God. I had washed my clothes with a different detergent. It was a test detergent, like, here, use this. Came with the washing machine. And unfortunately I poured the whole thing in there. It was one serving. It was just for one load. But to me it was like for 5 loads. You could smell the smell of it. Obviously toxic, babes. A lot of things kind of exacerbated because I'm dealing with some things in my body, and everybody is. And when you start adding toxins on top of it, and on top of the toxins that are happening, it's just toxins everywhere. Excuse me. Um, there's a way to raise your vibrational frequency and not have it come in. It's very important. But who knows how to do that with being bombarded by the fucking narcissist? You really have to. I don't know about you, but this is the call. Is to stop, shut up, sit down, relax. There's going to be a time where it's just, I mean, something is trying to tell us that essential movement and work only. Not that I'm all for the gates and the whole thing, but it's interesting to keep oscillating. Well, maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, maybe that was great, maybe no, it's actually fucking brilliant, no, but how? Well, look at it. Well, really, it's just a parasite eating itself down. It has a host. The parasite has a host. But what happens is usually the parasite just eats the host and then it dies. All of it dies. So just wait, children. Wait, my children. Give it another 7 years. You are to seek refuge in the inner sanctum of Christ. Within and without, we are connected. Fuck the world.